Welcome back to the Foundry by Forge College. Okay, today is a big one. We're finally putting the finishing touches on our Digital Vault security blueprint. If you were with us for the last explainer on building and verifying Merkle trees, you know we've got this beautiful bulletproof vault built. But right now, it basically has a screen door. So it's time to add the absolute necessity for any secure system, which are tamper-proof locks. Today, we're talking about integrating digital signatures for transactions.
So, here's the giant elephant in the room. We have the heavy cryptographic bricks, right? And we have the lightning-fast verification of the Merkle tree. But at this exact moment, the front door to our blockchain is wide open. Technically speaking, anyone could construct a perfectly valid transaction, slip it into the tree, and completely pretend to be you. We can prove a transaction is in the tree, sure, but without signatures, we have absolutely no idea who actually authorized it, which is, a pretty massive problem.
But don't worry, here is our engineering schematic for the day to fix that flaw. We'll quickly cover 1. Why signatures matter. 2. Keys as your digital ID. 3. The signing workflow. 4. Binding to leaves. 5. Our verification checklist. And 6. What's next? Let's get right to it.
All right, section 1.
Why digital signatures matter for transaction authenticity.
Think of a digital signature like an unbreakable, purely mathematical wax seal on an engineering blueprint. When you see that seal, it really does two massive things for us. First, it proves exactly who drafted that document, which gives us authenticity. And second, it guarantees that not a single line or measurement has been tampered with since that seal was pressed. That's our integrity. In our system, without this signature, any sender, any recipient, or payload is honestly just an easily forged rumor. We need that guarantee.
Moving on to section 2, keys, your digital ID, specifically looking at the E2559 key pair. For this blueprint, we're relying on the ED25519 algorithm. It's incredibly fast and, more importantly, highly secure. Now, you're going to generate a private signing key. This is your personal stamp, so literally guard it with your life. From that private key, you extract a public verify key, which is the imprint you actually share with the rest of the world. And because we really don't want to deal with messy, unreadable computer gibberish, we serialize both of these into base 64 strings. Think of it kind of like translating alien machine code into neat, readable text that we can safely store and pass around.
Which brings us to section 3, the signing workflow, and why we use hash before sign.
Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'll just sign the JSON string of my transaction, right? No, actually. Trying to sign raw JSON is literally like trying to sign a puddle of water. The formatting just keeps changing shape. A stray space here, maybe a reordered field over there, and suddenly your entire signature breaks entirely. It's a nightmare. So instead, we use what's called the hash before sign method. We create a totally stable hash digest of our data first, and then we sign that rock-solid digest.
The factory process here is super strict, and there is no skipping steps unless you want the whole assembly to just fall apart. First, canonicalize your transaction. That means putting your fields in an exact, non-changing format. Second, hash that stable payload. Third, sign that specific hash digest with your private key. And fourth, attach the resulting signature and your public key directly to the record. It is a very strict 1, 2, 3, 4 dance, but it works every single time.
Next up, section 4, binding to leaves and Merkle integration. So to bind everything seamlessly into your blockchain, you take that newly extended transaction, the one that now actually includes the signature and public key, and you serialize it one more time. You hash this complete signed package to create your final signed Merkle leaf. And then, you just snap that leaf directly into your tree. It's really that simple.
And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates the elegance of what we're building here. See, when you generate an inclusion proof from that signed leaf, it acts as this phenomenal double guarantee. You aren't just proving the transaction belongs in the database. Because the leaf's hash includes the signature and public key, the inclusion proof simultaneously validates membership in the tree and the authenticity of the person who sent it. As we often discuss in the Forge College learning community, solving two massive security problems with one elegant cryptographic path, that is the absolute hallmark of great system design.
All right, section 5, our verification checklist and end-to-end tests.
Okay, here are the 5 end-to-end checks you absolutely must run to ensure your scripts are airtight. First, key generation must output clean base 64 strings. Second, signature creation needs to yield a full transaction object. Third and fourth,
Your signature verification and your Merkle proof verification must both return true. And finally, your automated PyTest suite has to run cleanly from start to finish with 0 errors, giving you that sweet exit code 0.
Now, if your tests fail, and let's just be totally honest here, they almost definitely will on the first try, don't panic. Watch out for the most common pitfall, which is a canonicalization mismatch. All this means is that your signing script and your verification script are looking at a slightly different order of bytes. Seriously, even a single, tiny hidden space will trigger a catastrophic failure, so keep your environment strict.
Finally, Section 6. What's next as we move to capstone assembly? As you wrap up this module and move toward the final project delivery, write this exact quote down and maybe even stick it to your monitor. Canonicalization always comes first. If your data isn't stable and deterministic at the byte level, cryptography simply cannot save you. Make it stable, then hash it, then sign it. That's the golden rule here.
It's honestly so fascinating to realize that this exact minimalist engineering pipeline, canonicalizing, hashing, signing, and binding to a Merkle tree, isn't just a fun college project. How does this simple 4-step pipeline literally secure billions of dollars in Web3 networks right now? Well, because it's not magic, it's brilliant, unbreakable logic. If you want to answer that question, dive deeper into these concepts, and truly master the architecture of tomorrow, definitely visit forge.college. Keep building those test suites, and I'll see you in the next explainer for our final capstone assembly.